So what is the point of meditation? Does it have a purpose? And is it really beneficial to just continue meditating because you hear it's a good thing? Maybe it makes you feel good and whatnot. I mean, isn't it good to know the purpose of what you're doing? Because I think many people who are into meditation, they don't really know the purpose. Or they haven't this. I mean, you can always find out your own purpose if you want, but they haven't really reflected upon, is there a purpose to this, except for that, hey, I'm feeling better now and I'm feeling more calm. But it's also kind of a trap, because at a certain point you will sort of stagnate and it becomes like going to the gym, or doing some yoga exercises or doing the dishes. It doesn't really make a difference, except you're feeling a little bit better there and then. But if you don't know the purpose, or your own purpose, and why you're doing it, then what purpose will it serve? Who knows? So in my view, the purpose is quite simple, but you have to understand a few things about the mind before you can understand the purpose of meditation. If you look at the mind like a ball of yarn, so the default mode, or how it's become since you've been born, is that it rolls in one direction, it spins in one direction, which makes it increase. It creates more of itself all the time as it's spinning and spinning and spinning. And that is what most people are doing. That's called creating karma. And that's the unconscious way of living, because you don't know it yourself, but you're adding to the mind tree. You're increasing the mind stuff, and creating more and more stuff inside yourself in the form of beliefs and thoughts and all that chaos. So the purpose, or at least the first and most important purpose of meditation, is to get to a point where you can detach from the mind, even for a little bit, and observe it, because that's the first step. When you have done that and you get established in that, then something happens, which is the most important change, and that is the mind, the ball of yarn, as I call it. The mind starts to spin in the opposite direction. It starts to unravel. Instead of adding to itself and creating more of itself, it's starting to shrink. And this actually is the default, this is the real default mode of the mind to do, to self-cleanse, to unravel like that. But in this world, everything has been upside down, and what we have been taught and how we have been brought up, and that has created the opposite of the natural default, which is to unravel and to get back into complete harmony and balance. Because having a mind is basically being off balance, off center. So allowing it to unravel is the first and most important milestone in meditation. And when you reach that, you will understand what I'm talking about. Many people have already reached it, probably. But when you reach that, you don't really need, if you're established in that mode of allowing the mind to unravel, then you don't really need to practice that much meditation while sitting down formally meditating anymore. Because now this is a process that's going on 24/7. When you have reached that turnaround, that turning point of the mind, when it starts to unravel instead of creating more of itself, then it's a self-perpetuating situation, and it will keep spinning in that direction and unraveling itself by default from now on. And all you have to do is be alert and pay attention to what goes on at all times, and act on, if something comes up. Because what also happens when the mind starts to unravel is that your life, which is a reflection of the mind, also starts to unravel around you, and this can be scary. This can be overwhelming for many people, and it usually is, and many decisions that can be hard has to be made because they seem beyond logic, and and everybody else around you can say that it's a bad idea, they can go against you, which is typical. And these are all tests that you are able to trust what is beyond the mind that you have found and allow it to continue, because to allow it to continue to unravel, you have to pass these tests that will come up, because that is the past testing you. Are you ready to let go of these things for real? And that means letting go of stuff in the external manifestation also, in many cases. So that is then that becomes more important than sitting down with closed eyes. It's to allow the process to just continue, and if something stops it or hinders it or slows it down, then you have to find out what that something is, and you have to do something about it. And that is much more, that's why most people who meditate, they don't really get that far, because they are scared of that process actually happening. That is the scary part of meditation. The nice part is in the beginning, when you feel peaceful and more calm, and many people just stop. Okay, I feel a little bit more peaceful and calm now, that's okay, I'm just going to stop with that. But if you really want to do the deep work, then you have to go through the whole unraveling process, which is can be many years after you have reached the turning point. Many years, can be tens of years, can be a whole life almost. And many people are not ready to do that, so they just stop and don't allow that process to really continue. That's why they don't go deeper in meditation. They just do it as a hobby. But it has to be a complete dedication, and your whole life has to be dedicated towards it, and allowing that process to continue no matter what. Nothing can come between you and stop that process if you want to get to the end of the line, basically. So that is why so many people are into meditation. They don't seem to really change that much, because they haven't really they have stopped before they came to the turning point. Or maybe they felt a little bit, they came close and they felt a lot of fear because of what would come up, so they stopped at that point and they never went further. But they still meditate for 20 years, but they haven't moved an inch. So what's the point? It's just an excuse to make yourself feel like you're doing something good and right, like giving to charity or something like that. But that is what Buddha calls being a stream winner. Most people, they're in the stream and they are clinging to the shore or to some rock in the stream, and while clinging there, the river is filling them up with all sorts of garbage coming their way. But if you become a stream winner, that means you're letting go of the rock you're holding on to, and you're allowing yourself to float down river into the unknown, not knowing what's coming next. And that's exactly what it happens when you turn around from the mind creating more of itself to unraveling itself. That is when you become a stream winner. And the stream is the only thing that can lead you to the ocean, to enlightenment. So if you want to get there, you have to let go of the rock. You have to become a stream winner. You have to have the guts to let go and to allow the mind to unravel, even if it means that your whole life is collapsing and all your friends and family don't understand. Many of them will condemn you for it, judge you for it, maybe even leave you. But that's just, there's a lot of sacrifices that has to be made if you want to go that way. And it's not for everyone, but that's just my take on it. And it's better to know about what your choice is and what the actual, and what's the goal of meditation. And that is the goal. The goal is to become a stream winner, to let go and allow the mind to unravel. That is the first and primary goal. When that has been reached, all you have to do is allow the process to continue and do whatever you can to get out of the way of hinders and challenges and all that which will come. And then eventually you will reach the ocean.